guys. So I thought I would catch you up on some things. Start with the apartment. Okay, for those who maybe have not heard, I've been looking for an apartment because I had stayed in the basement of my daughter's and son-in-law's house. That was like 5 years ago. It's finished except for the ceiling. And there was a year break where I moved in with some guy, and oh my God, that was the worst 10 months of my life. And I moved back. Well, I kept getting more and more depressed because there's really no windows. I mean, there's windows, but you can't see out of them. It's depressing. And there's centipedes and spiders. And I don't like it. And it's hard for me to take my dog out because I have to climb the basement steps to get him out. And it was just rough on me. So I started looking for an apartment. And I was having a really hard time. So, make a long story short, I had found an apartment. And haven't heard from them. And then I called them finally. And they said, oh, we had a tough decision to make. There was two of you. And we decided to give it to this other lady who was basically going to be homeless, which I didn't believe for 1 minute, because her landlord was, I guess, losing the apartment building he owned for fraud or some kind of shit. So we figured you were staying with your daughter. You weren't going to kick out. You weren't going to get kicked out. You had a place to stay. So we decided to give it to her. It kind of pissed me off, but she said, but we do have one coming up, and it should be mid-May or maybe the end of May. And, you know, she made it sound so good, so I was disappointed, because this was, that it was in April. I think it was maybe the beginning of April, I'm not sure. And of course, and I was disappointed because I want to have my own apartment. And it's dark down here. And I wanted to be somewhere bright. And I wanted to have a shower and where the toilet and the sink were in the same area. And I wanted to have a kitchen. And I wanted all that stuff. So, come mid-May, I called them back because I didn't hear from them. And she informs me that the guy paid through May. So it's probably going to be mid-June or maybe end of June. So now I'm really getting depressed, and I'm like, I can't take this. So I'm about to look for another apartment. Well, last week I got a phone call from her, and she said somebody had a family emergency and they have to leave immediately. And they're supposed to turn in their key on the 9th of May. And she's offering me that apartment first. And so we're waiting now to see if he really turns in the key on the 9th. And if he does, then they got to get in there, clean, paint, all that other shit. And then she's going to give me the total. Now, how they work it is I would have to pay the deposit naturally. And the deposit is going to be more because it's a security entrance, and I have to pay extra for the security key and for the pet deposit. And unfortunately, I have to pay $25 extra a month per pet. So that spiked it up. And not only do I have to pay for the rest of May, he wants the whole month of June up front. So I have to pay for the whole month of June and the rest of May and the security deposit, which I have. But it's not going to leave me money to get the electricity in my name because I do have a balance of $188. which I honestly forgot about. And the truck, you know, people to help, curtains, you know, mop, broom, all that shit. So what I'm going to have to do is get the apartment, get the key, and then wait till my check comes, which is only going to be another week. And since I don't have to pay for June, I'll have that whole check clear. So then I could do everything. So I'll be moving in like a week and a half later. But I could get into the apartment, take measurements, and, you know, get curtains up anyway. And, yeah, that'll be it. So, what I can do, and what I have been doing, is moving, like I have, I guess it's a cabinet, you can call it, waist high, maybe up to here. It's been up against the wall for 5 years now. And, another big taller cabinet been up against the wall for 5 years. I moved all those and came across spiders in their web. So I had to beat the shit out of those. And in the corner over there, I have those plastic containers with lids. I got all my eBay stuff in there, like eBay shoes I'm selling on eBay. And one contains my summer clothes. And another container with eBay dresses and blouses and stuff I'm selling. I gotta move those, and I'm sure there's some nice spiders and centipedes behind those. But, so the other night, I'm sitting here in my recliner. Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time. I sleep in here because sleeping in the bed, it's really hard when I wake up in the morning to walk. And it'll hurt for most of the morning. So I've been reclining and sleeping on here. So my cat, you know, she's running around playing, making a lot of noise. And I'm like, jeez, even my dog's like following her around. And I'm like, oh my God, would you guys just fucking stop? I need to get some sleep. So I see my cat coming over and I see her ready to jump, but she's got something in her fucking mouth. And it is a mouse. So I stop her by put my hands out, and she jumps back, drops it, and the mouse plays dead for a second, and she's staring at the mouse, and then the mouse decides to book it. So the mouse starts running, and Miss Kitty grabs it, so gets it in her mouth again, immediately starts coming back to me, comes right in front of me, looks at me, and starts to jump, and I have to hit her down again. And she does this 3 times. Like, you know, thank you, Miss Kitty, but I don't want your fucking mouse. So, I'm panicking. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I find an empty box, and as soon as she dropped the mouse, it plays dead again, and I put a cover over it. A box, an empty box. And I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to leave it here until morning because I don't want to wake everybody up trying to get it out because I need help. If I slide a piece of cardboard under it, I'm going to have to hold it shut. I can't open the doors. I don't want to wake anybody up. So I figured, okay, let's go. I'm going to leave it like this till morning. I pick my hand up off it. Miss Kitty comes along and knocks it up, and the mouse runs again. So now it's Miss Kitty chasing the mouse. So it's the mouse, Miss Kitty, Chewy, and me chasing the mouse around the basement. So I get the box again. We repeat. Miss Kitty puts it in her mouth. She drops it. The mouse plays dead. And I cover it. I get a bigger box and I put it on top of the box. Now, there's no way Miss Kitty's going to knock this box off the mouse. So, for like 15 minutes, I hear Miss Kitty clawing at the cardboard. I get up, I move her away. She goes back, she's clawing at the cardboard. She fucking tore the cardboard apart, and out comes the mouse running this way, Miss Kitty after it, and Chewy following Miss Kitty. So she chases it around the basement, and it's about to go into where we keep all the Christmas decorations And the Halloween, my daughter decorates for every holiday. And I don't want it to get in there because I figure it probably will not come out. So I get a broom and I'm trying to sweep it. I get that box and the piece of cardboard. I'm going to sweep it into the box. And I figure I'm going to put the cardboard down real fast, turn it upside down, hold it down, and somehow I'm going to get that damn thing out. So I'm sweeping it as fast as I can, trying to keep Miss Kitty from getting, I'm hitting Miss Kitty at the same time. And somehow I accidentally hit the mouse with the hard part of the broom and I kill it. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get it out. And I killed it. So I felt really bad about that. So I get it, put it in a plastic bag and take it outside and throw it away. And that was my, and now it is, I think it was like 4:30. So, or no, it's 5:30. So from about, I forgot, I don't even remember what time it was. I just know it was like 2.5 hours that we were all chasing this fucking mouse around the basement. So now, like I said, I gotta go over in that corner and go behind all that stuff that hasn't been moved. And I'm fucking scared to death I'm gonna come across another mouse. And then, oh yeah, and then I took down all the pictures on the wall and all the paintings I did, and I put them in a box, and I had to put it up on top of something against that wall in the corner. I can't even show it to you because it's disgusting. And as I put it up against the wall, I see a huge centipede, a real big, juicy, fat one. So I grab a shoe, and I hit it. I didn't quite get it. So it scurries up. I hit it again. Still didn't get it. Hit it as hard as I could next time. It's still alive. And it slowly falls down into the box of pictures. Because I didn't seal it yet. I am not taking that box of pictures along with that big, fat, juicy centipede with me. So I pick the box up. I kind of scrape it off the top. Throw it on the floor. And one by one, I take the pictures out and throw them on the floor. Nothing. And you know how boxes have the flaps on the bottom when you fold them together? It's either under there hiding, or it's in one of the, you know, the canvases. You know, you wrap the canvas around it and you have that wood frame. It could be in one of those hiding, because it did not come out. So for the whole day, I had the pictures on the floor and the box turned upside down. And I kept hitting the box every time I went by it. And I kicked the pictures every time I went by it. And then I had to put them all back. So I beat on the box. And I hit the pictures on the floor and shook them and put it all back. So I don't know if the centipede is still in there or what. Or if it crawled out. So yeah. That was all a 24-hour period. So that was, yeah. And then I've been doing a lot of little things like, you know, cleaning out the refrigerator. I'm going to leave that because I had a refrigerator. I'm hoping they don't pull a fast one with this apartment again and say, oh, the guy decided not to leave, or we really saw somebody, we found somebody that really needed this apartment, or something, because I'll have a nervous breakdown. I really will. So, yeah, so that's the news on the apartment. I'm really nervous. It's getting real, and I'm scared because I really have not lived alone. It's probably been, it is 6 years that I lived alone in an apartment. I lived there for 10 months, I think. And then before that, I never lived alone. So now that I'm older, it's going to be scary. I'm going to get one of those life alert things, I think. And then I have to worry about Chewy because he barks at every fucking thing. And I hope I don't get complaints about him. Especially when I take him out at like 7:30 in the morning. And people are sleeping. It's going to be an adjustment, and I'm scared. I'm worried. Not scared. I'm worried. So I gotta do things like, you know, I got a balcony door. It's a second floor, but it's not high. It's low enough that somebody could actually climb on the balcony and get in. So what I'm going to do, even if there is a lock, I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to measure, and I'm going to buy one of those sticks that they can't open the door. You know, they can only open the door so far. Have to get one of those. I'm going to get one for the bedroom window too. I don't think they can. They'd have to get a ladder for that, so I won't do that. But yeah, it's getting real. And that's it. So I think I'm going to take a nap now. I was going to say something else. I know. I had two things to say, and I can't remember what the other one is. But, okay. Well, I guess, one thing. My grandson, you've seen him. He used to he was my sidekick when he first started walking. I know, because I babysat him all the time. And he's always been by my side all the time, especially when we moved in together. You know, he would sleep down here in the summertime. He'd be down here all the time. And then, of course, when my granddaughter got old enough, then she would sleep down here all the time. When I moved away for that 10 months, they would come over on the weekends. Unless it was summer, then they'd stay for, you know, a few days and stuff. And now he's getting older. He's going to be 10. And he has friends. And he's starting to like girls. And he's moving away from me. And God, it just breaks my heart. It does. He'll come down and he'll stay down here for like 5 minutes, and he'll say, oh, I gotta go upstairs and call so-and-so, and then I won't see him for the rest of the night. And it's so weird, because he used to be down here like all night. And, yeah, it's breaking my heart. So, like today, he spent the night with his cousin. Well, they both did. And she came down, my granddaughter, baby came down, and she said, hi, Mima, I missed you. He didn't come down at all. And it's like, oh my God. The same thing happened with my son. All the way up till he was like 9 years old, he was like so close to me. I think it was even until he was 10. He was so close to me. And then when he started turning, 12 and 13, he stayed home. And I had a basketball hoop for them, and I had a pool for them, so that all of the friends would always be over at the house. I had an Xbox for them. And all the friends were always over. And then he got like 13, turned 13. And they all started going to this park that was farther away. It was, at first they started hanging down at the end of the park. And then parents started complaining. Because the teenagers were at the park. And their little kids couldn't, didn't want to hear language and stuff. And I probably would have been the same way. But I was happy because they were right down the end of the street. And so they started going to a park that, it's probably a 15-minute walk. That's, maybe a 20-minute walk. Maybe an 8-minute drive. But, I would drive him there. And then he'd be there all day. And it was like, as soon as he got up, Mom, can you take me to this to the park. Like, oh my God, it was like I'm losing him. And I even told my daughter, I said, I'm losing David. He's gone. He's not my little boy anymore. And that's so heartbreaking when it happens. And now it's happening again. And you know, even my daughter, she was saying that about Che Che. She's like, oh my God, he doesn't want to hang around anymore. He doesn't want to do anything. He's in his room all the time with the door shut. And I said, yeah. And I said, it's going to happen. Pretty soon he'll be at his friends all the time. And, you know, it's like you don't matter anymore. And it hurts. So she'll be going through it. Not right away, but pretty soon. And then I'll be going through it. And, yeah, isn't that weird? So, anyway, enough talking, blabbing. That's it. I'm getting really tired, so I'm going to take my nap. Then I am going to wash any dishes that are stray around here and pack those up. And hope everything works out and I can move so I can get rid of this part of the stress. Wondering if I really do have an apartment. And that's it. I will talk to you guys again. I'll see you. Bye.